So last month, our net was, I can't delete supplement. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. All right, boys, a little yap session. I'm not gonna have any screenshot to show you guys, so you'll just have to kind of take my word. Playing with the babies a little bit. Mrs. Ekko is playing pickleball with the girls. So let me kind of yap a little bit about Ekko and, kind of keep you guys updated about its current state. A few of you guys commented on my YouTube video where you guys like that kind of videos. So I'll kind of continue, I guess. So at the moment, Ekko still does a little bit more than $100,000 a day, which is awesome. As you guys may know, we entered on Amazon. We're already making an incredible kind of progress literally every month at this point. Unfortunately, at the moment, a lot of the inventory, a lot of the high selling SKU, because on Amazon you go by SKU. So a flavor of this product or that kind of stuff. At the moment, what's happening? Look at this guy bullying off the little guys. Basically, a lot of the SKUs are sold out, and Amazon takes literally almost 2 months for us at this point to make the products live. So what's happening is, imagine for beaters, I have to pay 6 weeks for them to make it. So I pay, you have to pay up front, half of it at least, right? In this case, my brother is my manufacturer. So I do get away with a lot of stuff, and he tries his absolute best to have my back. Out of full transparency, he works on about 12 to 15% margin on each of the products. That puts me in a very good position in terms of when I buy products from Bangladesh. This is why I buy from Bangladesh, because he was able to actually buy a garments on his own, so the employees are on his payroll and whatnot. The only risk is I am his only customer, so if I can't pay him, then it creates a lot of issues. There's a time when the TikTok shop basically didn't pay me because, well, it's our fault, because our shop rating went below 4, so my fast settlement became late settlement. So for 2 weeks I didn't get any pay from TikTok, which made it very difficult. So I had to hold payments to the Bangladesh, payments to my supplement manufacturers as well, but obviously had to pay the employees and the athletes. That's something we can't pause. So anyway, a little bit of an issue. That's when I showed you guys the negative. You guys already know. There's the credit card bill that was due to, that was automatically got taken out of my account. That's what put my account in the negative in the first place. Like the rent, you can't be late on rent, right? One of my biggest objectives right now is to try to carry 2 million units of beaters. It's gonna be well over $6 million worth of investment, which I don't have, obviously. So we actually started to work on getting a loan from a bank. What I plan to do with it is literally just pay the manufacturers as much as I can, because when the manufacturers are paid, that's when they'll really have your back. The way I look at business is, your manufacturers are your biggest friends. You cannot look at your manufacturers as your enemies. That's just the wrong way to go about it. We also found out on Amazon, because we're running such aggressive ads, one of our biggest goal, to be honest with you, is to be in the top 10 for creatine listing for Amazon. That's one of the biggest market when it comes to dietary supplement. Here's the thing. Let's say you have brand owners like Optimum Nutrition, brands like Optimum Nutrition, Bulk Supplement, NutriCost. These guys are leading it, right? They have their own manufacturing facility. They don't have another guy to pay the margin. They literally just buy it from China, does their third-party test results, and whatever is required by Amazon, they're providing that for your assurance. But the middleman isn't there. In our case, we have a middleman. Then on top of that, we're doing all the third-party tests and everything else. So our cost is obviously higher. To break into that top 10 is going to cost us a lot of money on ads, and also have to ensure that the products are cheaper than theirs. And to do that, that's the challenge. But this is what I typically refer to, survival mode. The more I can survive while taking hits on creatine. So last month, our net was negative 6%. That was April. So I haven't gotten my May, because May hasn't been completed yet. It's going to be even worse. The difference between me here at this point, and let's say if some of you guys were to start your brand, you can't do that, because you need to make profit for you to survive. Not everybody, I use this term survival mode so often, so much, and I really mean it. The survival mode is when you go into this, with your blanket kind of situation, you try not to spend any money and stay hyper focused and whatnot. Take as much hit as you possibly can while survive. Luckily for us, I told you guys, I'm very open to admitting it. I take a lot more margin on clothing than my supplement. So because the beater moves so much, because the blank moves so much, because even our stringers start to do really well. So those products really, we literally did, I think 1.65, if I remember correctly, on clothing alone. So clothing's profit offset our profit net negative for our supplement, if that makes sense. I can't delete supplement because you guys want supplement. That's what Ekko is known for. So if I delete supplement just for money, people are going to think I'm betraying them. I have a lot of audience. Believe it or not, I don't care about a lot of you guys. I'll be honest. I do not give a fuck about a lot of you guys. But there's a lot of you guys that also come to my live every single day. They have my back. If there's a controversy, you're giving me the benefit of the doubt. Those are the guys that I give a fuck about. And those are the guys I cannot let down. I know for a fact a lot of you guys will not remember me if I die tomorrow. So, which is fine. Whatever. It is what it is, right? But I know for a fact a lot of you guys will remember me for at least, a couple of years. And those are the guys that I try to please. Those are the guys that I can't leave behind. There's a couple of kids that I see often come to my live that I remember their username before Ekko even existed. I remember those days when it was rough, and people came in. They kept coming back anytime they had time. Like my boy Andy, Trentabel, Sean. Some of these guys like will literally come in and just like check in with me, and those are the guys like I can't let down, if that makes sense. Anyway. Alright, I'm being goofy. I need to chill. Anyway, with that, I believe we're also losing money on Magtein to another product. Protein, we're actually making some money this time because I'm not running any discounts. I'm at like 12% discount and then like 15% for flash sale. That's like highest I'm going. And we didn't see a lot of return. And a lot of people are buying 60 servings. So it's kind of offsetting to net actually positive on protein. So which is awesome to see. I'm not like super hyper focused on protein. Protein's cost, I believe the raw ingredients cost me $38 for 60 servings. So when you add TikTok's fee, and then by the way, I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but you just have to take my word for it. There's a lot of discrepancy that we notice when it comes to our payout from TikTok Shop, and it looks like there's a lot of other sellers are experiencing that as well. So I start to get emails from these law firms. They're trying to build, try to like investigate rather. Let's use that word. They're trying to investigate into it, like, hey, what's happening? Because other sellers are kind of like pissed off too, and like you'll see like TikTok Shop like really die down because I've said this before. TikTok Shop is so hyper focused on the affiliates. You'll see these creator events where like literally some affiliates are making millions of dollars in just commission. That's profit, 100% profit before tax for them. It comes with a cost. You're expected to sell the cheapest price available, the biggest flash sale available. On top of that, a lot of these big creators, they get huge retainer, huge bonuses. It's just like this funnel that like you're basically digging your own grave on TikTok, which is one of the reasons why I kind of toned down on TikTok and really expanding into Amazon and website more than ever before. There was a time when I wouldn't even stock our inventory on website. I would prioritize TikTok Shop the most. So now I'm like toning down because it's just unsustainable, because believe it or not, we were fucked in so many occasions. There's like a whole bunch of situation that's not clear, and I can't say anything at this point because I still need those like $60,000-$70,000 in gross sales every single day, and I can't delete because I have too many employees right now. I can survive myself. I'm just more about my employees because we have like 16-17 people packing orders every single day, and I would have to kill off like at least 10 of them, if not like maybe like keep 4 or 5 employees at max if we deleted TikTok Shop. That's the only reason why I'm not pulling back. But another thing I will say is there's still good organic growth. The brand awareness still there. If I was making $2 million in sales from Amazon, I would have been easily just be like, all right, goodbye to TikTok Shop, and like just move forward and focus on myself. And we just found out that our sales rep, I think they said they don't work with TikTok Shop anymore, which means either he was laid off or he quit himself. Doesn't look good. Again, it's just unsustainable. People are expecting free shipping on a product that's like $10 to cost, but then like you have to understand, even with heavy discount on UPS, you're at least gonna spend $7-8 to ship out a small package. So like, where does it come from? Somebody has to pay for it. Like UPS is not gonna ship out free, and so that's why I've been ignoring a lot of comments, because it's just like it's a waste of my time to respond to those guys. It doesn't make sense. That's why we do free shipping on $30, and then we actually have our beaters at $29.99. So if somebody will have to buy something else, then I can amateurize my shipping cost. That's another shit show. Anyway, if we can get approved for the loan, I'll be sending out quite a bit of the payments to the manufacturers, the 2 big ones, the supplement and my brother, so they can continue. My brother's getting a little bit impatient because again, he has to pay his employee, and it's not his fault. So that should be really, really nice place to be. Working on a lot more clothing items. I'm not gonna buy crazy amount of inventory to save $2 to save $1. Rather just like buy small quantity and then try to see if I can take a little bit more margin, and then while focusing on the big stuff. Like I need to make sure like our blank on the black ones, both Tane 1 and Take 1 have been sold out for months at this point. We're finally gonna get them in like a week or so. So finally, the listing kind of like went from like 200-300 units sold to like 150 units sold, which is bad for us. Anyway, a lot of yapping. As far as the athlete goes, I'm not as involved with the athletes, if I'm being honest with you guys. At this point, I kind of closed my eyes with the athletes. I've had a lot of bad experiences with some of the athletes, and do not ask me the specifics, but I just found out it's a lot better for me to just stay focused and be the owner and have someone like Tristan handle the athletes and close my eyes. I don't even want to know who's being signed, who's being let go. I do not give a fuck. I just want to focus on myself. I don't want people to like leave Ekko and then blame me personally. It plays with my head so much. I don't appreciate that. I worked so hard, risked so much to this date every single fucking day, and I try my best to have everyone's back. I really do. Like it's very like, believe me, like I've had people walk over me in so many occasions when like those people should not even be looking at me when they talk to me. I'm aware what I'm worth. I'm aware what my net worth is at the moment, and that kind of stuff. But like I don't want to like keep asserting my dominance. It's not a classy way to do things, do life in general. So I'm just stepping back completely from that category. I'm much more focused on like working with Noah in logistics, in supply and demand with, and Brent, than anybody else at this point. I enjoy working with these guys more than like I used to like take pride with like get like really into people's problem. Like I would get to know like Bax era. The Bax era is dead, unfortunately. I don't feel that need to be that involved with the athletes anymore. They're all doing incredible. They're adults, which is awesome, and I can't just like close my eyes and just focusing on myself, and it's just not worth it. That living that way is just like unsustainable, dude. Like especially the mental health aspect. I can't keep taking on people's problems. Anyway, with that being said, more yap, right? Looking like 13 minutes already. That's crazy. Damn, I like to yap a lot, huh? The creatine gummies, by the way, like awesome. I think it's gonna be very successful. It's gonna be a big one to go after. It's already proven. We already sold, I think, like 1/3 of the products already within like the week of releasing, and then we're gonna see if we can like get a little bit bigger priorities. Obviously, bigger. Oh, bad news, by the way, on the protein bar. So the ingredients like apogee, it's a patented ingredient, and obviously we're too small for them to like care and give us a priority. And they said there weren't too many people to get access to their apogee, and we can't reformulate it because it took us forever to approve that formula with the sample, because you can any manufacturers can request samples and they'll send samples. It's just, but when it comes to placing PO, that's when it gets difficult. Now on the bright side, I probably shouldn't share this information. I'm getting a lot more offers to have people like invest into my company more than ever before, which is beautiful to see, that people that believes with their own money to join Ekko. Which is something obviously I'm not gonna take, you guys know, and not at the moment. Maybe like for energy drink and protein bar, those are the only thing I would be willing to give up. There's like a little integrity situation that's coming up. I'm so worried about like somebody taking my baby and not being able to like treat it the way it needs to be treated. That's my biggest concern. A part of me definitely regrets not being on Amazon earlier. It's something I think I made a mistake on, to be honest with you. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go to Amazon is because I didn't know how to like take my athletes with them, and now I have like pretty much a lot of signature products. We're basically handing out signature products to athletes, and we're basically giving them a royalty of the products that we're gonna produce. And now I feel a lot better going there. I just wish I figured it out a little bit earlier. I just didn't know how to like really go about it. There's a lot of good athletes that have been with Ekko for a very long time, and I've never been able to like really do anything for them. In all honesty, like Noah Steverson, Blake, they've been with Ekko for a very, very long time. They're very, very loyal and very respectful individuals, and I never got a chance to like really give them the attention that they deserve. So those are the reason why I think I'm like, man, like these people, like they've never disrespected me. They've never like they've always like actually believed in Ekko, and I just never felt like I did anything. Now I'm like, okay, I'm trying to see how I can like, we're adding more products to see if I can like give them royalty, because trust me, Ekko is lucky in the sense, I genuinely mean it. We are genuinely lucky with some of the best athletes ever. They're actually good people. We definitely got lucky with that aspect. I don't know why, but definitely got lucky. But at the same time, we definitely came across some bad apples. And unfortunately for me, because I take my brand so seriously and so to like nitty gritty, that like few bad apples kind of fucks up the entire like concept. If those few bad apples didn't exist, I would have had like one of the most integrated, like the most beautiful relationship with my athletes and myself. Like that's how I imagine. That's how, like when I think about like the Bax era, like I legitimately had this like vision in my head, like I'm going to like take these guys to the next level where like they appreciate Ekko. They'll get treated in a way that they never imagined they would be treated. But now I'm like, fuck, like I'm just like tired. Anyway, I'm yapping too much. I'll stop yapping. But you guys get the gist. I don't know if anybody made it this far. If you did make it this far, comment that you have if you can. If not, all good. Peace.